Wooden Railway Tales by Wooden Railway Studios. Episode 2. James's Sticky Situation. It had been a few days since Thomas's accident with the trucks, and Gordon was puffing into Knapford Station when he was switched onto the other platform. "Why am I here?" he said. "Where are my coaches?" said James. Just then, a goods train was coupled up to Gordon. He was very confused. "Stanley, this isn't my train." "Sorry, Gordon, but you're pulling a goods train today." "What do you mean? Who's pulling the express?" Just then the Fat Controller arrived. "Henry will be pulling the express." "Hello, everyone," said Henry. Gordon fumed. James sniggered. But then the Fat Controller turned to face him. "As for you, James," he said, "you will be pulling these candy trucks." The trucks that James was pulling were sticky and messy. James was so mad that he raced out of the station without saying goodbye. He clattered along the line, grumbling to himself, when he arrived at the docks. Then he spotted some empty trucks in a siding. "Aha," said James, and he puffed forward and coupled up to the trucks. "Cranky," he asked, "where are these trucks going?" "I think they're going to Harwick." "Okay, bye," said James, and he quickly puffed out of the docks. Cranky was rather confused. James was happy to be rid of the sticky candy trucks, but as he puffed past the station, he noticed some coaches. "Aha," said James, and he left the trucks and he switched lines and coupled up to the coaches. The passengers boarded, and James took off. Meanwhile, Paxton arrived at the docks. "Where are my trucks, Cranky?" "I thought those were them," replied Cranky. "Oh well," said Paxton, "I guess I'm pulling trucks full of candy to the quarry. Don't know why. Goodbye." And Paxton clattered out of the docks. Meanwhile, Arthur had pulled in to get his passenger train, but instead he found trucks. "Was I pulling trucks? Maybe. Makes more sense. Otherwise there'd be coaches here." And Arthur clattered off. Meanwhile, James was at Knapford Station when Gordon pulled through with his goods train. When he saw James with coaches, he quickly rushed away. James laughed, and as he was uncoupled from his coaches, he went to find a place to rest. "Pulling coaches is such hard work," he said. But at the docks there were two unhappy engines. Arthur had brought the trucks to the yard, and Stanley had been very confused. Paxton had pulled the candy trucks to the quarry, and all the engines had laughed at him. Both engines were mad. Just then, the Fat Controller walked up. "James," he said, "you have not been doing the jobs I've assigned." "Yes, sir," he said, "and for that you will be pulling trucks for the next week." "But, sir," he said. Then James realized that he had been very silly. He hadn't been a very useful engine, and he probably deserved to pull those trucks.